What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm
Period.
your host, Pharaoh. We're
Period.
my wonderful co-host, oh my God, and Luis from the Amazing Race 34. Luis, how you been, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm so happy to be on here with you guys. I'll say yes every single time. All right. There's no thinking. I'm here. I'm here for y'all.
I know that's right.
And we love having you on. You're the best. You're
Yes.
hilarious. It's great.
Thanks, y'all. I'm not the best at the challenge though. That's for sure.
You did good. You did good. And
I
if they
was
call you,
fourth
better
out.
answer.
They played in your
Better
face.
answer.
They played in your face.
It was a mission, man.
It was
And then
rigged.
and then Dusty didn't even have my back, but let's not get into that. We're talking about the amazing race.
So, speaking of the Amazing Race, the premiere came out. How did you feel about the premiere episode of this season?
Man, you give me 90 minutes of 13 teams. That's crack, dude. Like that's a lot of storylines. That's a lot of storylines. There's a lot of things going on the first day, man. Where 60 minutes of 13 teams, you're never gonna have a good edit or a full edit of what's going on. You add those extra 30 minutes, it's great. And I really enjoy these 90-minute episodes in the beginning of the season, right? When you start having 5 or 4 teams and they're 90-minute episodes, they were dragging a little bit for me last season.
Yeah.
But right now, I think it's great.
I agree. It flew by, actually. I was watching it, and when I finished, I was like, dang, that was it. I thought it would be more because the 90 minutes, but it feels normal when there's more teams. It just feels normal that all this content we're getting. I don't know. I think it's nice. I love the 90 minutes, like you said at the beginning, because when it's like you said, when it's 4 teams,
it starts to drag really quickly. Like especially podcasting and talking about it, it's like, oh, we still here.
And the thing is, too, this season. All right, so for the audience that doesn't know, this season was recorded before season 35, right? I feel they postponed it because they originally made a 60-minute per episode season.
Mm-hmm.
And then CBS came and was like, hey, we want 90 minutes. And it's like, oh, crap. So they didn't design this season to be 90 minutes long. So what we saw last season is you saw more route infos. They had to just go here just to get a clue. They had more stops in between the challenges, which helped with the season. I'm not sure they're going to have this season. So I think it's not gonna be good. The cast is good. The cast is great.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the cast will carry on. Will do their job. But let's see how the edit goes.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see that because last season was really good with all of the. I like it better when you're booking your own flight and when you're doing all of that stuff on your own. And it'll be different, but I don't know. I'm excited, like you said, for the cast specifically. When I saw this cast, I was like, oh, because there's not a lot of like super, super young teams. I feel like everybody's kind of like more on the older side. We got a lot of different varieties. So I was actually excited about the cast. Let me pull them up. Because I'll be forgetting
Great cast.
names.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely skewed a lot older with this cast, which I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I
think they have.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What was the stat that I saw? I think it was more. Was it more parent-son teams? No. But it did skew older. It did. Yeah. It did. And
it does.
And the youngest team is already out. They're gone.
Dang. I want something to that. Like
they're such sweet people. I met Rohan up in New York for our for the finale party of 35. Mm-hmm. Sweet people, but their immaturity showed. Their immaturity showed this episode.
And they were trying to do that 3-point turn and dead end. I was like, just go back.
Just back up?
Lee, did you say 3-point turn?
Is that what it's called?
That's what that was. But
it's called, yeah. If it was 3 points, that was more like a 27. It was more like a 27-point turn.
They were attempting to do a 3-point, but it turned into a marathon. I don't know.
Just reverse out of there. I was screaming at the TV, but yeah.
That was insane. I think they just overthought it.
They're so sweet. I feel bad for them because I love when like there are people who like really, really big fans and they get the opportunity, but then going out first, it must suck.
Super fans don't do good. They don't.
Yeah, last season the super fans They were brother and sister. I think
Yes,
they went home. What, first?
Alexandra and Sheridan out
Yeah.
first.
Yep. Like, dang, I guess they just get really excited or something. I don't know, but they
It- it-
like I feel like they kind of choked. I was
Yeah,
like, what's going on?
it depends, you know, because some like I'm a super fan. I call myself a super fan, but and me and Michelle always watch the show, but we have jobs that we have to do under pressure. You know, I'm a
Mhm.
firefighter. She's a dancer on stage. She's in the crowd. You know, and I feel like that's why we do good because we're good under pressure. Where some of these super fans they're not used to that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Rohan and Maya, they said they're like the type of super fans. They purposefully took specific classes. She took Spanish. He took another language so they can prepare. And it's like, okay, y'all are like all in. Like y'all are Amazing Race. So it's unfortunate. It's like bittersweet. Like they got the chance, but it's unfortunate because they went home first.
They wasted so much money.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Wow. I feel so bad. But I mean, at least they got
Also,
to
I
go
just
on.
feel like. Oh, what you gonna say?
You good.
I was gonna say while watching them, I just like there was like a lack of urgency. I felt like they were super fans, but I didn't get the sense that they Loki even wanted to be there. It seemed like even when like it did start getting like tough, like they were just so, I guess, calm. But it's not bad to be calm, but it also just seemed like y'all were not in it. Like it didn't give like they were actually in the race. Like it would cut to them and they'd be just doing something random, and it's like, what's happening?
Mm-hmm. I agree. So the rest of this cast, who stood out to y'all within the rest of this cast? I guess on the premiere because we didn't get to see some of them, but we got to see a few different teams.
Yeah, for me, who stood out was Juan and Shane. I always give points to the military team.
Mhm.
Last season I was wrong with Liam and Jeremy.
Mhm.
Those beautiful guys with long hair, blue eyes. I was like, oh man, these guys are studs,
Mhm.
and they
And
were
then
out like eighth.
they didn't know what was
I was
going
like,
on.
wow. I was shocked
But
they were not eating it up.
yeah, and they're in shape. Military
Mhm.
background, but they didn't go too far. I feel like because they're just too young. There's something about older teams. They're just wiser, more mature. They've been through life. Me and
Mhm.
Michelle and I, we're in our mid-30s. We've seen more shit. We go. I think Juan and Shane, they have military and they're a little bit older, so that team sticks out to me.
Okay, I like them too. Especially this premiere, they were not doing well at a point, and then they were able to lap like 5 teams. So I'm like, that's a team who, when you get to a roadblock or a detour, they're gonna zoom through it. And if
Yeah,
you're like that, then that's very helpful. That's very, very helpful in
yeah.
these shows.
And
So
Derek
that
and
was,
Shalisa stand out to me.
yes, me too.
Something about it.
I was gonna say them. I was gonna say them. I was actually surprised at their performance, which is crazy because they are super fit. So I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was just like, wow, like y'all ate that up real bad because they chose the physical detour actually, and they were still in top 3, and it's like,
Yeah,
y'all
they
ate
ate
it
that.
up.
And what's up
Real
with Rod choosing the memory, the other detour? I feel like Rod could have put both horses on his shoulder. He could have put Leticia right here in the middle and just walked down that hill.
Right
When
though.
I saw him going to the memory task, I'm like, what is he doing? But at the same time,
it worked out for him.
it worked out. They still did
Mhm.
good. But at that time, before I saw them finish the memory task, the wrestling task,
Mhm.
I was like, before that, I was like, yeah, this is dumb. This is no, they're gonna struggle. But nah, they
Mhm.
still did good.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, because
So
anytime I hear memory, I'm not going.
you're not gonna do it.
I'm not doing that. There's no way. But I also feel like carrying them horses, it's like there's always one that's easier, and I feel like the memory this time was definitely easier. But it's just like that's terrifying. Like I don't know, like the idea of having to memorize and get it right. Like I don't know how y'all go on the show and do that sometimes because I would not be able to remember that much things at once. Like,
Yeah, I feel like it all depends because they could have made the wrestling, the memory harder, right?
Mhm.
How? And like for example, they could have had multiple pictures of the guy with the yellow mask, and it would have been like one little line. That's all. So
oh
you
yeah,
never know with those tasks. Like it could be they can make it really simple. Like they only have one picture of one guy in a yellow mask, or they could have
Mhm.
multiple pictures with multiple guys in yellow mask with like one little line that's different. So I always skew towards the physical challenges that are straightforward. You know what I'm saying? But But this task, it was definitely, that one was easier. The wrestling one was easier.
Yeah, I was initially thinking because when they got to the detour and they were reading out the cards, because y'all don't get to know exactly what the detour is. Y'all only see what's on the card, right?
The detour is explained a little bit better. You do
Okay.
you do get to read which one, and you have a description of each one in there. So that one you do.
Okay.
The roadblock is the one you don't.
Okay, understood. So with the detour, with the explanation, I feel like for me, I would have been like, we can do the memory one, knowing that it's these wrestlers, we get to see them, we're right up on them.
Yeah.
We would be able to do that. But Lee was like, look, we need to do the physical one. That's more straightforward. And I get it. And I feel like it would work for a team that actually is physical. Because I remember last season with Todd and Ashley, there was like the matrix carrying one. And they did good. They did fine. But it was better for like Liam and Urimi. They were able to carry 2 at a time and stuff like that. So it's like, if you are a physical team, definitely do the physical one. And then if you're not, it's like, it's more of a decision. But that's why I liked Cesar and Ricky's decision, because first of all, they said they've been to Mexico and they've seen those big ass horses. And they were like, we ain't gonna be able to carry them big ass horses. Because everyone else went and they were surprised. They was like, dang, these are huge. We thought these was going to be small, but they knew they were big, and they were like, okay, we'll be better off doing the memory, and it worked out for them well. They're also a team that stand out for me because I feel like every decision they made was it just seemed very thought out. They already knew that Cesar was doing everything in this country. He has the advantage. He's from here. So I thought they did good. I like them.
And going back real quick to the description of the detour, right? So another reason why I would have gone to the horses is, for sure, in the description, it would have said you have to watch the wrestlers, and the show is every 15 minutes. I think it's what it said. So you think about that, a show's 5 minutes, 15-minute break, and it's like that's 20 minutes in between each attempt. And there's a lot of things that go in play. Like, do you only get one attempt per 20 minutes? Can you just mix them around and get another check right away? That's all in the clue, and that's all things you got to ask yourself as the race is going on.
That makes sense, because Letitia and Rod, they also chose to do that. And when they chose to do that, Rod, I remember seeing him patting on the actual stage, like, all right, where y'all at? Like, come on, because I guess it had hit the 15-minute mark. So
did you see him flex? You saw him flex, and the rest was like, hell no, we want nothing to do, bro.
Like, we are here for a show, please.
Surprising to me was, I guess it might be because of those detour cards explaining it, but what was surprising is initially only 3 teams chose to do the memory challenge. Literally everyone else went to the horses, the actual picking them up and moving them. And I was like, that was surprising, but the rules were only 7 teams can do one of the tasks or something like that. Is that always how it's been?
No, it just depends on the task.
I was like,
for us, for example, what was it that we were at that where there was a limit in it just depends. Every task is different. Michelle, where's my wife? Let me ask her. Hey,
because that was very interesting to me. I was like,
what tasks did they have a limit on in our season? Like detours? No, like supplies, like stations. Sorry, I'm destroying the show right now.
I just remember they did.
Think about it and get back to me.
For the massage one, I think there was a massage one last season.
Yeah, there's always stations like last season was the where they had to put the art in the specific order, and
there
they
was
had
only
stand.
4 different art stations. So only 4 people could go.
Exactly.
Which I find so annoying. Like, y'all don't have more. Like, imagine you show up to a place and they don't have shit there left. Like, that gotta be annoying as hell. But I will say,
I'm sorry, guys. Is that me? Shit.
Chris and Mary, when they showed up to the detour for the horses, they got there and they could have got one, but they taking their sweet precious time to get up the hill, and all of them was gone. Like, a situation like that would just be, I would be done. Like, I'm already walking. And
they know right now they're in the back of the pack, and they see Juan and Shane, and they're like, hey, by the way, there's no more horses up there. What are you doing?
That was crazy to me. And then she said, she was like, I guess I shouldn't have told them that, but I'm just so sweet. And it's like, girl, we gotta leave sweet at home. leave Sweet back where you from, and we were on the race. We were
Exactly.
racing. That's
If they
crazy.
would have asked me, I'm like, yeah, there's 1,000 horses up there. You guys are
Mhm.
good. It's man, you're in the back of the pack, and I was shocked that Shane and Juan were so far behind.
Right.
Mhm.
But yeah, they caught up quick. But yeah, you can't tell them. You can't help anybody when you're in the back of the pack. You just can't do that.
And Shane and Juan were in the back. And oh, that was what I was gonna say when you were saying that you like them. Like my fear for them is the navigation because baby, where was y'all at? Like everyone had made it there, but Shane and Juan, I think Rohan and Maya and Chris and Mary were like lagging behind. They were struggling. And I
Mhm.
was like, okay, y'all need to like get it together. What's going on? And navigation gets people sometimes. If you mess up on that, you're out. So that's
It's
what was scary.
navigation is the most important thing on the Amazing Race. That's what gets most teams eliminated is
Yeah.
navigation, and that's why I always give it up to the military teams because they're usually good with maps. I mean, usually
Mhm.
they're in the middle of a I don't know desert in Iraq, or somewhere they're at, and they figure things out without the need of GPS or anything. So,
Mhm.
but man, they were struggling, dude. So
What do you feel like is good advice for people when they get lost? Because we also saw Amber and Vinny just lost, going the wrong way. What
yeah,
do they even do? Like, how do you even know? Like, that's crazy to me.
as soon as you don't know where you're at, you have your map, right? And as soon as you don't know where you're at on the map, you have to stop right away. You don't keep on going. You don't
Exactly.
keep on driving. You just stop. And people are scared to do that because every time you ask somebody for directions, you have to wait another like 3-4 minutes for them to sign a waiver. And that gets in people's heads. But I'd rather do
Oh
that, sign a
wow.
waiver, than drive the wrong way for another half an hour because you don't have no idea. You have to stop right away, get directions, and just get back on track. That's the thing. And Amber and Vinny, they shocked me because they're super fans. I know they're super fans. They've
Mm-hmm.
actually watched our show. They were following me from before. They watch podcasts. I know they watch multiple podcasts, and I thought they were gonna kill it. But this episode, they were almost out, which
Yeah,
is
they
shocking.
didn't even seem so. They didn't seem urgent, and I think it just comes to like a personality thing. They just seem super chill, but it's like, baby, y'all was finna lose, and y'all are like, I mean, we need to turn around here, right? And she's like, yeah, just turn around. He's like, all right, give me a second, let me go. I would have been low key speed and like, I'm sorry, we gotta get there.
His
But
quote was, "Well, if we're lost, other teams must be lost." That's not
yeah,
how that works, bro. Just because you're fucking up doesn't mean everybody else is fucking up. So that
it,
was a bad mindset by Vinny.
that was very interesting, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like we say it a lot though. A lot of teams are just like, "Oh, we're lost," and then nothing else changes. Like they just continue doing what they're doing, and it's like,
Yeah.
what else? But that's interesting. So they have to sign a waiver every time you ask someone for directions.
Every single time. Every
That's
single time.
annoying.
And
So you
some
can't
Insane.
just run up
Oh,
to
that's
somebody.
annoying.
You have to like, do you have to tell production, "Oh, I want to talk to them," or like you just pick a person
nah,
and
they're following you. You just run up, pick a person, you talking to them, and when you're about to leave, you have to wait, right? The audio guy is the one getting the waiver, and the camera guy stays on you and just starts asking you like a quick interview while they get the waiver. So that's what happens there.
that's interesting.
That is
Yeah,
very
but
interesting.
sometimes they don't want to sign the waiver. And here's the thing too,
Damn.
like there's been times where I went up to a family of 4 or 5.
Mhm.
And if you go up to a group of people, the audio guy has to get waivers for every
Oh
single
my
person.
See,
god.
So when I noticed that on my like second leg of the race, I'm like, hell no, I'm not doing that shit again. So
Yeah. You got
so
one
yeah,
person.
yeah,
Dang,
exactly.
that is insane. I guess I understand then why you would try to just want to figure it out a little bit, but if you're in a country, you're in a whole nother country, let alone state or city. Like I don't even know what's down the street from me, and I live here, so it's like I don't know. You got to ask for directions. I feel.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
so everyone finishes or is starting to finish the detour, and Rohan and Maya still haven't even got into the detour clue box, baby. So they are very much so behind. In my mind, I'm like, okay, they're definitely out. But they actually did start catching up towards the end. And I was like, okay,
Hmm.
wait a minute. That was very interesting because they had to do pin them down. Everyone else had already done the other one. They chose pin them down though. And Juan and Shane were there. Chris and Mary were there, and Rohan and Maya ended up being there too. So I was like, okay, you have a chance to actually unless they edited it weird. But anyways, you have a chance to actually catch up because all three of y'all are still at the detour.
Exactly.
So I was rooting for that. I was like, y'all can still do it if y'all do stuff fast. But never mind. But let's talk about this roadblock. Lee, who doing the roadblock? You or me? Because this one was very interesting.
I wouldn't be able to. I don't think I'd be able to hop in the ropes like that. It's like that. So
all right, Luis, you or Michelle?
We have a rule. We had a rule on the first day of the race. Michelle was so nervous that I had to do it no matter what.
Oh,
so it could have legit been her job. Like, oh, learn a choreography with Pitbull. And she would have been like, nope, you're doing it. So it would have been me for sure.
That's very interesting. I think this is one like anyone could have did. I was surprised with Rod because he's a big dude. And Luis, you a big dude too. I'm thinking, how you gonna get through this hoop?
Which is why you would be doing it.
Dude, you guys see the size differences on the challenge? I was the smallest guy there, man. I'm 5'10".
I don't remember that.
I'm not
huge.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm 5'10", 180, 175, 180. Rod is 6'6", 200 pounds. That dude's abs has abs, man. Like that dude's a monster. And the fact that he did it, I thought he was screwed. I was like, he's never gonna get out of here. Mm-hmm. There's no way this big ass frame of a person could get through that little hoop. And what's crazy is the double dutchers, who are double dutching Mexican style, got stuck more than Rod. It looked like. I was like, what's going on here?
That was surprising. I was like, why are y'all struggling? But Rod did good, and that's another thing. I'm like, they're doing good at these challenges.
I think they're gonna be one to watch. Them and Cesar and Ricky. Like, I think they're gonna be at the top a lot. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a hot take on Rod right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're gonna go far.
Really?
Ooh.
I'll tell you. I'll give you guys a little hot take.
Luis, why are you saying
I
that?
I know. And sometimes we see these teams in the beginning. Here's the thing about athletes, man. I don't think athletes do their homework. I think athletes, they're so confident in what they do in their athleticism. And they see this race, like they see a few episodes like, man, you know who I am? I'm Rod. I got this. And I feel like that's usually what happens with athletes. They're very too confident and they don't know the race. And now you have Rod. Now his confidence is even higher. I got first place, even though he didn't win anything, which sucks. Man, that sucks. But it's his confidence is way up. And that's gonna destroy you if you feel too comfortable on the Amazing Race. Hot take: Rod and Leticia are not gonna go far.
I see that. Wow. I do understand that. I think that you gotta have a good mixture of doing stressful things in real life or having some type of experience, and then also being a little bit of a fan. Like you gotta low key have knowledge of the Amazing.
You have to have some knowledge. And I the wild card is Leticia. So if Leticia looks like a strong woman. I think she could be the leader of that team. If she knows how to handle Rod and just keep that momentum going, then they'll go far. But right now, let's see what happens.
That's gonna be interesting. I want to see that.
I definitely can see it, mainly because of Leticia. I feel like honestly, I think she will be able to kind of like steer it well. But that's definitely true because I feel like when I did my Amazing Race binge, like there are a lot of people who get casted who are just not fans. So there are simple things like, oh, you can't tell your partner. You can't help your partner at the roadblock, or you can't like you have to find a certain person to give your things to at certain detours and tasks. Like people just did not know that and will go straight home because of that. And it's like you have to pay attention to a lot of the intricacies in the Amazing Race, like literally reading the clue.
Yes.
Do not be doing.
Let's get into that because Karishma and Kishore were the fourth.
I love them.
Look,
hilarious. This is the new era. Who did I say? Country singers. I feel like I get that energy from them. I don't know why, but I feel like I get it with Carolyn and Jen. I feel like I get that energy so bad. Like I feel like they're gonna be here for a while. I don't know. I hope they don't go home at least.
Well, they're very entertaining. Let's see if they're here for a while. Because Karishma, she told her, read the clue.
Girl, read the clue.
Read the clue. And Kishore's just over there dancing. You know, she just
literally dancing through the hoop.
grabs the
like,
hat.
turn around and see. You gotta get that.
But they were doing so
turn
well at first. They were doing so
around. It
well.
was.
And she literally actually got through all 7 of the hoops before the other teams even got there. Some of the other teams, but she
ate
had to
that
go
too.
back, and then she was struggling on her second go round, and that's why they ended up. This is in order, so they got freaking 10th place, and it's like, wow.
But
You
that's
were
why I compared them to Carolyn and Jen, because I'm just like, there was one season, I forget which season it was on, but like literally they had got stopped by like the police, had to go pay a police thing. I just like they always got tripped up on the most arbitrary things, and they would still stay in the race. Like I was like, I just see that for them. Like it's gonna be stupid shit, and they're gonna still stay. At least I hope.
I got stopped by the police one time.
At the main
Really?
Yes.
Oh my
Day
God.
1, I was parked in a taxi area because we were lost. So we pulled over, we saw a taxi, so I pulled right behind them. It turned out it was like a whole taxi area. So I get out of the car, we asked the taxi for directions, and I look back and there's a cop with his lights on behind me, and he's walking towards the car. And if we had 0 leg money that day. So if you get a ticket and you can't pay it, you're done.
What?
We were almost done day 1. So I start running back to the car. I look at the cop. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm on a show. And he goes to me in a German accent. I don't care. And it's like, okay, I'm sorry. And I'm like, he's like, say sorry to the taxi. And I'm like, sorry, taxis. Like, my bad.
Right.
So I got in the car and I left. I didn't even get directions. Yeah, it was a mess.
Dang, that is. I feel like I would quit if we get stopped. All right, we lost, Lee.
Like this is too much because I'm over here thinking like, girl, I don't care. I'm a run past red lights. I'm gonna go past stop signs. I'm doing illegal U-turns. I guess you can't do that apparently. Like shit.
No.
I hope Charisma and Kishore do not get stopped. But honestly, I see that for them. Them
like,
literally.
If it's gonna happen to anybody, it will be them.
They got me cracking up when Karishma was like, "She's got this. She's Mexican. Her dad is Mexican. This is Mexico, and we are gonna destroy this Mexican roadblock." And bro, just the edit was just her messing up 14 times in a row. I was so much,
but that means they were like so ahead. I feel because she still ended up getting her 15th attempt, but now it didn't matter because they got 2. It's like
And then I like it. I like when I see things like that when they're specific to the rules. Like you didn't get it. You're not wearing your full costume.
That'd be so crazy. Like Amazing Race don't give a damn.
Yeah.
If you don't do it exactly how we told you to do it. Because you'll get all the way to the mat and Phil would be like, well, you didn't run around the statue 3 times.
You don't have your hat
exactly.
on.
Exactly. That's what happened. That's what happened my season with Dom. She had the rainbow hair.
Oh,
yeah.
She got to the pit stop and like, nope, you can't check in. You don't have your full costume. And she didn't even know. She didn't even know where she left the hat. Like it was. I like stuff like that. It just brings more drama. So that was good.
I feel like I like it, but I feel like that shit would happen to me. It would be so stupid like that. Like, oh, you didn't wear your shoes. What?
You have to read the full clue, and you have
look. The goal is to get to the pit stop. I'm here, aren't I? Let me go through.
Check me in, Phil. Don't do that. Yeah.
Child. Yeah. So Letitia and Rod, and I was gagged because Letitia and Rod got to the pit stop and they were happy and they were in first place. And Phil's like, you got first, but you're still racing. I was like, this is day 1. This is leg 1. I was not expecting a mega leg, but it's like, is it a mega leg? Because there was also an elimination.
Well, and that's why I get confused.
But I guess
what's the difference between this and then a regular mega leg? Because he didn't say it's a mega leg. Like
I'll tell you what the rules are. There are no rules. The Amazing Race makes up all this shit. Like the Amazing Race, like let's make this shit up as we go.
They call it that.
Exactly. Like last season, there was a mega. There's every single leg is an elimination, but yet Liam and Jeremy stepped on a mat and they weren't eliminated. Like that made no sense. And this one was a mega leg, and then there's Phil because whenever there's a mega leg, you don't see Phil in the middle. Yeah. Our 2 mega legs, we did 2 legs in a row. We did not see Phil in the middle. And this one, you see Phil in the middle, and the team gets eliminated. They just make shit up, bro. That's what it is.
This was just a long leg. I don't even know what this was because the end of the leg, I'm thinking they got eliminated. That was a whole leg. They literally lost the first leg, and the next episode is going to be leg 2, But it's like, is it really leg 2? Because it's the same
It's a
day.
mega leg. It should be leg 1. They got eliminated in a half a leg.
Half a leg. So they
Like-
got this is the earliest elimination. Half
Yep.
a leg. What?
You know what's the
this?
earliest elimination? Actually, there is a season where they were like in LA, and they had to do match a picture with another picture, and
Mhm.
the race just started. It was Phil was right here. They said, look at that board. If you are last to pick the matching picture, you're out within minutes.
Okay, the challenge.
So don't quote on me exactly on the challenge. I think it was like matching a picture, getting the right
Yeah.
picture. That's what I think it is. And a team was out in like the first 15 minutes of the Amazing Race. How much will that suck?
They were pissed. So I got my vaccines. I got my passport. I got all the shit ready.
The psych test.
50 minutes.
The psych test that last 2 hours was longer than their participation in the Amazing Race.
That is actually terrible. I would hate that. And I feel like that's the worst part of going home first. Like, damn. We did all
That was
this.
my biggest
be here
fear.
for
Like
4 hours and go home.
So
That was
how
my
long
biggest
is
fear.
That like period of time? Like how long were y'all like out there shooting for one day?
Every day is different. Every day is different. Like the mega leg for us, dude, the mega leg for us in Italy was like 16 hours long. Like we like we started like at 7 or something like that, and we finished like at close to like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. It was crazy. It was crazy. So
But y'all got a day break. Like y'all got a whole day off.
Yeah, after that after a mega leg we got a full day break. A regular leg, it depends. It could be a 5-6 hour day maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because I saw in some of the confessionals it was literally nighttime for some of these people. So I was like, "Ooh, you was in last, child." Because some of the people it was like dawn,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
I saw Mary and Chris. It was black. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, did y'all
like
lose?"
Rohan and Maya, I think the sun was coming back up. It's like, wait a second, that doesn't make sense.
Stop it. Oh my god! But that was crazy when he said keep going, and then it was really crazy
so
when
over it.
Rohan and Maya got eliminated. I was like, what is going on? But
Yeah.
It's such a anybody who needed to go ahead and keep it a race. It could have been Rohan and Maya.
I agree.
Now would they have just lost on episode 2? Maybe, but you know what? They deserve, and that would be the most annoying thing because it's like a lot of times these mega legs, the same people who be in last just being last for another episode. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
Very
Yep.
true.
I do miss non-eliminations though. That was my favorite part of the rewatch because, like, I swear all my favorite teams didn't get eliminated.
Mhm.
So we need to bring that back.
And there hasn't been non-eliminations these last 3 seasons, right?
Correct.
I feel like I would like them. I feel like I miss those. I feel like they should come back.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's right because it's nice to have those, right? Especially for that one team. You're just like, no, they're last, and
Yeah.
it's like, but you're still racing. It's
like,
nice. It's a goosebump moment, you know. It's good to have those once in a while. I like them.
I agree. I'm excited for this season, though. I want there to be some arguments or some drama because all of the what is it called? The promo. It's so nice and it's friend. No, I need them to be beefing. I need them to be arguing.
I don't think you're gonna see that, Pharaoh.
You don't think so?
I don't think so because you saw that last season because of the airport, right?
Okay, yes.
So Anna Lee was beefing, a little bit there, and then maybe we'll see because and there's no U-turns this season either. So Anna Lee was beefing because of the
That's
U-turn
true.
vote.
That was the U-turn is so interesting. I love the U-turn. I love the I love stuff that can add an extra level of tension to it.
Right.
But
Yeah, and there's no U-turn. Just kind of like my season. I don't know what it is about the COVID rules and the charter flights that they never did U-turns on that. I still don't understand why. It's I don't get it. I don't get it. You could still have a U-turn vote. You could still have one team do 2 tasks.
Right.
You know, it's not. I don't know, but so I don't feel like it. I love the Amazing Race, but I'm trying to be real. You know, I this season I don't think it's going to be the best season. Because man, the season that we had last year, now we're back to my charter season. My season was the same thing. It was a charter flight, you know, and if somebody were to ask me what season of the Amazing Race should I watch first, I wouldn't tell them my season because my season wasn't traditional Amazing Race. You know, I'll tell them, you know, watch 25 or maybe even the first season, you know, when it all started. and then watch my season later. So
yeah, because the older seasons had way more just drama. It was way more intensity to it because of all of those extra layers. So we probably ain't gonna get it.
I will say like drama. Like I feel like Amazing Race has like been moving away from like nasty like beef because they used to have some crazy. They were beefed out back in those earlier seasons. A few of my
man,
like
it was ugly. You had a boyfriend like pushing his girlfriend, like hurry up. It was bad.
Those couples hated each other so bad. Like I feel like they kind of Amazing Race Paramount as a whole is just moving away from that type of like thing because I don't know. I feel like all of these couples are gonna be cool. I don't see any issues. We can see these last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and I will say this casting was interesting because last season and then y'all season, Luis and Michelle, I feel like there were so many different characters who are like, y'all can be on the challenge, or I would love to see y'all do other stuff. And this season, I'm like, I don't really know who could even transfer over. Like, I don't know. I'm just.
It's episode 1, so we don't see. So we're gonna be looking out for Luis's allies on the next challenge season.
Next challenge season.
We already got we got Liam and Remy and Lee. Okay.
He would kill it.
So you're gonna see.
And I know D. She's a Miami girl. I went to her Survivor premiere party. So but man, D's such a savage. She'll fucking get me out right away, dude. Like I don't.
You just gotta act like with D. You just gotta act like you gonna be loyal to her. Just don't give her no inkling. Don't give her nothing. She will very much so take your ass out. But Louis, we definitely expect to see you later this year on the Challenge USA 3. You should say yes. You and all your allies can run it. Thank you. I'm super excited for that. Luis, any more thoughts on this season or this episode? Anything?
Man, what else did we talk about? We talked about the mega leg. I think we talked about everything with this episode. That was good. See, Cesar and what's his partner's name?
Ricky.
Cesar and Ricky. That was a surprise for me. You see their picture. They're heavier set guys. Just Hawaiian shirts. And like these guys don't care, man. They're just along for the ride. But they're very competitive. They're very smart, and I'm very surprised by them. I think they're gonna do great. And what other team, man? I really liked. So it's just hard to get the names after the first episode. But
what do you think of the twins?
I love their vibe, dude.
Yeah, I think that's Florida too, aren't they?
Like, oh, do we climb the pole, dude? Like,
yeah, they remind me of like Wayne's World. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but that's who they remind me of. I'm like, these are just some surf bros, and we're cool. I don't know if they're gonna win, but I think they'll be very interesting to see.
I think they're gonna be.
Really thought Vinny and Amber were gonna be top 3 killing it.
I am shocked that they're that low. Very shocked.
I will say.
Yeah.
I will say.
I'm always rooting for firefighters. Right, Sunny and Busy.
Sunny and Busy.
But you guys know firefighters suck on the Amazing Race.
You did great. You're the only one I know.
Before me, the highest placement for firefighters was like 7th place.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
You would think the opposite because y'all are firefighters.
There was a season where there was a season where the firefighters were out first, and then maybe I don't even count because I'm not even a firefighter team. I'm just one firefighter, but I am the single firefighter, one person to get the furthest. But teams of firefighters, they don't do good. I don't know why, but I'm rooting for Sunny and Busy.
I don't know what Danny and Angie gonna give. Honestly, I was like, y'all are cute. Y'all are very cute. I'm interested to see how they're gonna do in like some.
All right. But son and mother teams do amazing on the Amazing Race.
They do. Really? It's not in the chemistry.
The worst placement for a son and mother team is like 6th place.
Interesting. So
but there's only been like 5 teams though.
Someone did say that. Someone said that this is the 5th ever. This is the 5th, right? Like there's
something like that, 5th or 6th, yeah.
Mother-son team, which is crazy. They could do well. I think they seem like they're gonna work well together. Lee, like you were saying, the chemistry. I just think that'll work.
I'm like, speaking of, what happened to like the team like nickname or themes? Like what happened? I'm like, we didn't get that.
That's a great question. That stopped a long time ago. I used to love that. Like Like
I think
our
y'all
team,
season kind of had it. A few of y'all had names.
Mhm.
no, we didn't have team names on our season. Like I would have been like Team Miami Heat or something like that, like something cool like that. But like they went away from that, the hashtags and all that. Like I don't know why.
That's so interesting because I'm over here when I want to talk about them. I'm giving them team names myself. I'm like, those are the twins, and that's like I got a total drama team. Like whatever I gotta call these people, I'm just trying to think of names to call them. So it's like they should just give them team names again. I don't know. I missed that for sure. I definitely missed that. But
Michelle and Sean are a team that I'm rooting for because I like their vibe, Double Dutchers, and of course their team Red. So every season I look at the Red team. They got a good vibe to them, good positivity. They own a business together, so for them to run a business together, I think that's good chemistry that they got. And I'm rooting for them, especially. I'm rooting for them too.
I like them a lot. We didn't get anything from Yvonne and Melissa really, which was interesting. I was like, where are y'all at? But they're an interesting team because they're dating. They're lesbians, and I heard we don't get a lot of lesbian teams on here as well. So it's very interesting to see how they'll do. But we didn't get anything. So I'm excited for the next episode to see more of other teams. Get more energy.
I love 90 minutes right now. Say it again.
It's interesting. I feel like I didn't get too much because it is 90 minutes, but I feel like it was still a pretty good episode.
It still went fast for me. I agree.
Yes. All right. I think we talked about mostly everyone. I'm very excited though. We're just gonna be here all season anyways. So I'm gonna just stay excited about it all season anyways. So yeah. Any more thoughts? Lee?
None.
Luis?
Nothing else. I'm good.
Perfect. Thanks for coming on. It's great always having you every time. It's always a pleasure.
Do you guys cover Love Island? No, sorry, not Love Island. Love is Blind?
No, but my friend watches it and she tells me every single thing that's going on.
What a train wreck of a show, guys!
I hear so much.
Oh
you gotta
man,
cover it with us. You gotta host Love Island.
But man, Love is Blind, and that show, dude. I just don't want to give anything away, but maybe the audience, comment below if you think Lee and Pharaoh should cover Love is Blind,
and they will too.
Man, I love your commentary on every show, and Love is Blind, man. Especially this season, your commentary will be great. So
don't get them started because they will go in the comments begging us
we're putting out a work.
All right, y'all. We are covering though Survivor every Wednesday. We'll be here. We're covering Big Brother Canada, and we're going to be covering the rest of the Amazing Race. So be sure to tune in for that. And thank you for keeping it real with the Kingdom. We're out.